My name's Tianyang Ye. I'm CTO and co-founder of Axsoft. We're developing a material that's as soft as the brain, and we're using this material to build a long-term stable, high-bandwidth brain-machine interface device.
Here at AI Proteins, we design proteins totally from scratch. By building them from the ground up, we can control all elements of their properties to make them better drugs.
Antares is making a software platform to support the entire life cycle of a satellite, from how you design it to how you simulate that in the cloud, how manufacturers and builders make it, and how you actually operate the satellite once it's on orbit.
My name is Alaha Ahmadi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Themis AI. At Themis, our mission is to empower the world to create, advance, and deploy trustworthy AI applications.
I think all of us are dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety of a lot of different things. But one of the things that I've been trying to figure out is how much of that do you pass to your team? They're like, oh, there's this stuff that's not going to get done. I'm like, no, we need to deliver by the end of this quarter.
That mindset is, it's either true or it's not true, okay? If it's true, then it literally is all hands on deck.
One of the reasons that I wanted to become be a CEO or start this company was I always had this creator mindset. I love creating things and I love creating them from scratch, and starting a company is kind of that.
And now I'll remove a little bit of the buffer on both sides. 500 microliters to be exact. So we decided to do it this way so that we get better mixing instead of just adding a few microliters.
That makes sense.
We need to be really careful to not disrupt the membrane as we add this here. Sometimes feel the need to first take my listener through biology 101, a chemistry 101, physics 101 before I get to my point. And of course you can't do that. And I think Intel has really helped us to identify that core message, to get your point across and get people just as excited about all the technology that possibly underlies this.
Coming to terms with the fact that the story you tell is not only a function of what you do, but who you're talking to. You can give one story that'll be a total kill it for one audience and then just make the other person go to sleep. Right? And so just having that ability to kind of shift mindsets, right? And asking the questions first to establish the context for the conversation, right? Because it's really easy to just get sucked into that. I'm trying to convince you to give me money, right? But are you the person that should be giving me money?
The main challenge that we had was, how do you talk about this? Because it's very specific. It's to some extent niche, but also it's very society is catching up. So now people are more aware of it. And it was very helpful to get the feedback of the Intel Ignite team and the mentors and even other people in the cohort to help us figure those out, find the right wording. Ilya Pappas was one of our mentors who helped us a lot in terms of our how we think about different strategies and do pros and cons, and it's been very helpful to have him on our team.
So how's everything going with your go-to-market and your product growth strategy?
It's going good. We had to finally make the call of, are we gonna focus on top-down or bottom-up sales? And because of the nature of the problem that we're solving, it makes a lot more sense to do bottom-up and focus on the machine learning engineers.
That's great. And do you feel all the events you've been doing have been paying off?
It's kind of fun that after a couple of events, I meet people and are oh, I saw you in this, or I saw your co-founder, or especially our engagement and the nature of how the company is built. It's
all those little things tend to compound.
Yeah.
At the moment, it feels is this the best use of my time? Traveling, and then 6 months later, someone will mention that they saw you at one of these conferences.
Yeah.
That's what made them decide to use the product. So it's really great.
As a CEO, your job is to always have the small picture, what we're doing now, the big picture, and be able to zoom in and zoom out really quickly.
So here we're trying to show how a computer vision model can actually segment out different parts of the image. So we're trying to see how likely is this model to get the answer wrong.
And the fact that this is like a really huge model,
Yeah.
it's very exciting to see it working.
You know, these types of models that we're showing, they're the backbone of so many safety critical systems, autonomous vehicles, drones, and so many other types of things.
It's been very helpful, like with all of the resources that were provided to like help us like rethink and brainstorm, and we have a lot more ideas of how to take it further.